Entire background filled in with these sparkly, I'm not sure if I can get this to actually sparkle. There you go. See that? It's a really subtle touch. It's not like an in-your-face. There's no real contrast because you've got green on green here. But when you shift the page, it sparkles like someone threw fairy dust at it. So to me, that is like well worth the half hour it took me to get that bit of shimmer in there. I also got shimmer like all over my hands. See that? I look like I was kissed by a fairy on the hand. So at this point, I'm going to bring a white pen in. I usually finish my projects with white pen just because of the little TLC, the little touch of love that you can get into your paintings this way. This is a Uniball Signo Broad. I just want to put some, if my pen works. Oh, this pen is not working. Hang on. I have a million more. This one works for sure. I'll put a few little touches of white in here. Little lines of white on the end, the very tips of the cone flower. For me, this is what really finishes something, is these little tiny, tiny details. The ink in the pen may become tinted by the watercolor because the watercolor is water soluble. And I am, as always, totally okay with that. And then I think I'm going to put a little bit of a highlight in the leaves. You don't have to do this everywhere. It's just a touch, right? Just a touch. Does it need anything else anywhere else? No, I think that's it. I do want to do a very fine bit, just a little bit here, so I'm just going to do some hatching. This just adds a little bit more depth. So right over where I put the white marker, I'm putting in a bit of hatching. You could cross hatch that if you want to. I don't really feel like that's necessary for this. I want to keep it really loose. But if you were going to cross hatch it, you would essentially, you'd start like this and you would do your hatching and then you'd cross hatch it. I think that's it. Okay, so I want text in here, but I've got a really busy background. So for me, that's when I reach for a separate sheet of paper that I can use. So I'm going to use this sheet of watercolor paper. And what I'm going to do is tear strips from it. So what I want is the words wildly happy. I want that a bit smaller. Wildly happy. Maybe I'll put it down here. Wildly happy. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray these. And I'm going to spray them pink because there's a little tiny dot of pink in each of my blue flowers. And that's really the only place pink appears in my spread. So I'm going to add pink to the spread using this dilution spray. Just spraying both sides just for the sake of simplicity. And I'm going to blot that with just a Kleenex. So we're just swiping off the extra ink there. And then I'm going to give that a really good dry without losing it. It's just going to fly all over the place if I'm not careful. And then I'm just going to brayer a little bit of white into these. I'm not going to apply the paint directly to the paper. I'm going to apply it, I'm going to put it in my little butcher's tray over here, load up my little brayer, and then like that. That's yummy. Yummy! Put those aside. I'm going to move this because it's pretty much saturated with ink at this point, and I don't really want to put my book down in it. Got a jar of medium here. Now I'm going to have a little bit of smearing, most likely, because, actually, you know what? Let me just dry these real quick. And then I'm actually going to do my writing right away. So I'm just doing an elongated handwriting. So just do your own handwriting, a little slower than you would normally do it, and a little longer than you would normally do it. Like so. Give that a quick heat set. I think of a spread like this as a little bit of magic. If you're not wildly happy, this can invoke wild happiness. If you are wildly happy, this can be like an expression of gratitude. My writing is smearing all over the place. I didn't dry that enough. That's alright, I'm going to outline it in white anyway. Grab yourself a baby wipe if this happens, and give it a good wipe. Try and get the smeared ink off. You'll still have some of the writing left, but once it's dry, then you can go back in and you can rewrite your word. These mistakes happen. I should have let that dry for a lot longer than I did. And we're having some watercolor smearing here as well, so just be mindful of that. Okay, give this a really good dry. Let's bring it down so you can see what happened there. So it just smeared, and then I wiped out the ink that hadn't absorbed into the paint and paper, so I can go back in once this is dry and rewrite my sentiment. But this should be completely dry before you attempt that, or your pen just will not work. So now you can go back in and just rewrite it. I kind of adds something to the paper. It sort of distresses it in a way that I like. But if you would prefer to have like really pristine sentiment, obviously you could just shred a couple more pieces of watercolor paper and do it over again. But I hate doing that. I really would prefer, just for me, to stick with what I've got going on and make it work. Usually that's a time constraint thing. So I'm carefully heat setting that now. And then I'm just going to add, is this pen working? Just a little bit of white in the sentiment. Just a touch. Heat set that and then go in and just tidy up little places where it doesn't look quite right. And now I'm going to grab a water-soluble pastel. Where are my water-soluble pastels? Have they disappeared on me? Of course, just when I need them. I really don't know what I did with them. They disappeared. Oh, there they are. So there's this blue color in the portfolio. It's just called blue. It's one of my favorite colors for this. So I'm just running a little bit of it underneath. And then I'm going to run it along the sides as well. Let me pull this out for you so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm just running it along the side. And then I'm going to grab a blending stump. You can totally do this with your fingers, hey? You don't need a blending stump, but I have them, so. Now this has the added benefit, this blending stump has a little bit of charcoal still on it. So that's going to mix with this oil pastel. You could just use regular oil pastels as well. You don't need the water-soluble kind. As long as it's something that you can smear. It needs to be kind of smeary. So really what we're doing here is we're camouflaging the kind of icky glue bits down the side of the page, as well as creating a frame. And here we're just dropping a shadow down. Just dropping a shadow, just like that, that easily. And then that just gives this a little bit of oomph on the page. It kind of makes it pop out. You could add even more oomph if you want to. Just by going along the top and the side like that. Just like that. And then if you've lost some of your black pen, you can go back and put that in. Just like that. And that is that. I'm really happy with this. This was super fun. I hope you enjoyed it too. And I will see you in about 2 weeks with another edition of Wildly Inspired. Big smooches, my loves. Bye!